They're off in the Grade 1, Bar 1 betting. Hatton's Grace Hurdle. 2.5 miles to go. It is Casheldale Lad and Teahupoo, the stable companions, leading to the first flight, Ballyburn. On the inside is Glen Kiln, followed by Maxim, and dropped in last of the 6-runner field is Mystical Power. It's Casheldale Lad pressing ahead of Teahupoo, dual winner, second last year as they link up with the flight, taking them across to the straight for the first time. Then Glen Kiln and Ballyburn, Maxim and Mystical Power at the final couple. Turning in for the two flights in the straight, 2 and 3, and opening up an early lead of 4 to 5 lengths is Casheldale Lad from Teahupoo, and third is Glen Kiln. Fourth is Ballyburn, and then Maxim and Mystical Power, and Wash with Sweat is trailing the field. Straightening for flights 2 and 3 up the straight, it is Casheldale Lad over the second from Teahupoo. Glen Kiln, a stumble on landing by Maxim, but found a leg as they come towards the final 2 miles, and flight number 3. Out in front is Casheldale Lad from Teahupoo, joined for second by Glen Kiln. Very much running with Hearts and Flowers as the Bow family representative. As they jump the flight, that'll be the last one next time. Ballyburn is just fourth from Maxim and Mystical Power. Heading up to past the winning post with the circuit to race and 7 more flights to jump. The Bar 1 Hatton's Grace Hurdle. It's Casheldale Lad with the reduced advantage of 3 lengths over Teahupoo, edging second from Glen Kiln. And then Ballyburn with head bowed low, has 2 behind, Maxim and Mystical Power. Heading away from the stands to the first of 3. The next flight will be number 4. Casheldale Lad with a reduced advantage of a couple of lengths. And Jordan Gain for second is Teahupoo and Jack Kennedy. Then Glen Kiln and Brian Hayes. Over in fourth is Ballyburn and Paul Townend. Ballyburn jumped fences all of last season, is 2 behind. Maxim, Danny Gilligan, Mystical Power, Mark Walsh. Over the middle of the 3, bringing them up towards the next one, which will be number 6, just outside the halfway stage. Very little changes from first to last. Casheldale Lad leads at the next flight. Teahupoo, a step there by the one in front. Casheldale Lad was okay. Heads up to the halfway stage, followed by Glen Kiln, disputing second place with Teahupoo, and then Ballyburn, Maxim, and Mystical Power remains the back marker. They tighten a little bit at the halfway stage. Another 4 flights to jump, and it is Casheldale Lad bowling along a length and a half in front of, in second place, Teahupoo. Third is Glen Kiln. Together, 4 and 5 are Maxim and Ballyburn, and Mystical Power is 6th of the 6 as they race towards the final mile or so. Casheldale Lad, tracked all the while by Teahupoo and Glen Kiln, the yellow cap, and then Maxim, Ballyburn, and Mystical Power. Continuing this good run past the mile pole to the 4th last flight, Casheldale Lad, followed by Teahupoo, Glen Kiln, and then Ballyburn, Maxim. Those 2 joined at the back by Mystical Power. The next flight will be 4 from the finish, bringing them past their point of departure. 7 furlongs to go. Casheldale Lad, Jordan Gainford maintained their lead over Teahupoo, Jack Kennedy, Glen Kiln, Brian Hayes. Mystical Power's made a move on the outside for Mark Walsh. On the inner is Ballyburn, Paul Townend, and in between those 2 with 6 furlongs to go, Maxim and Danny Gilligan. Really tightening up now, heading for the 3rd last flight. Casheldale Lad, much closer, both Teahupoo and Glen Kiln, then Mystical Power. Ballyburn on the inside of Maxim. It's all to play for with 5 furlongs to go. And 3 flights to jump in the Bar 1 Hatton's Grace Hurdle is Casheldale Lad into the wings of the 3rd last from Teahupoo, the black sleeves. And then Glen Kiln, wide of them is Mystical Power. And then Ballyburn, and Maxim is the first one to crack as they run round the home turn with 2 flights to jump. Casheldale Lad, followed for home by stable companion Teahupoo. Mystical Power improves on the outside. Ridden along in by the rail is Glen Kiln. At the back of that quartet is Ballyburn, leaving behind Maxim. Their heads turn in for the final 2 flights. Casheldale Lad, Teahupoo. On the outside is Mystical Power, followed by Ballyburn, who goes past Glen Kiln, the 2nd last. Casheldale Lad from Teahupoo, driven up on the outside. After them is Mystical Power and Ballyburn. Inside the final 2 furlongs, 1 flight left to jump. It's Casheldale Lad still holding the aces from Teahupoo, who are having to dig in now as they come towards the final flight. Casheldale Lad from Teahupoo over the last. Teahupoo lands in the lead. A fuller Casheldale Lad almost has brought down Mystical Power. Late drama. It's Teahupoo from Ballyburn staying on strongly on the outside. Teahupoo from Ballyburn heads at the line. It's very close. Ballyburn, Teahupoo and Ballyburn in a dramatic conclusion to the 25 Hatton's Grace. Maxim finishes a remote third. Walking away the riders at the final flight. Glenn Kiln was also caught up in that accident.
Robbie Power is representing owners Rob Core here at Ferry House this afternoon. And Robbie, what a day it has been. Teahupoo, a horse I well remember you winning on as a 4-year-old here back in the day. You had some big days on him, landing an epic Hatton's Grace hurdle. Just how exciting was that for you watching?
It was very nervous towards the end, actually, to tell you the truth. But no, a fantastic horse race, and he's just a real tough warrior of a horse, you know. 2.5 miles is plenty short enough for him nowadays. But he wears his heart in his sleeve and he's tough.
I'm sure when you got off him that day you said this horse is going to go on and win 3 Hatton's Graces, didn't you?
Oh well, I knew he was a very, very good horse. I won a Red Mills hurdle on him over 2 mile. Like, he had plenty of pace as a younger horse, but as he's got older he's not that quick like us all. We slow down a little bit. So but like even Jack said today when he came back in, he said he was going as fast as he was able most of the way. Jordan had gone a good gallop in front, and his stamina kicked in and held on just at the right time.
He's got a tremendous attitude as well. Doesn't need to go with the ability. I mean, what do you reckon the campaign might look like? There's talk that we'll hopefully see a bit more of him this time around, will we?
Oh, we'll have to sit down with Brian and Rob and talk to them and see. Like, it's always been this race and then straight to Cheltenham. There might be the option of Christmas as well, but look, I sit down with Rob and Brian and Gordon and see what the best things is for him.
What about Monge too? How good could she be, do you think?
Yeah, we were delighted with her. You know, she did a lot wrong in Down Royal. She was very free. Put the hood back on her today. She settled so much better, and her jumping over the last 2 hurdles was very impressive. So, look, as juveniles go, she could be very nice.
It's been a terrific few days. I think Brian was over at Newbury, wasn't he, to see Highland Crystal again. I mean, there's no telling how good she could turn out.
Yeah, I was very impressed with her the other day in Newbury because she looked very green for the first mile of the race. I think Jordan Gainford gave her a fantastic ride as well because he left her find her feet, and she came home well. She's a real promising mare and a good advertisement for these new academy hurdles.
Not everyone is a fan, I think it's fair to say. You are, obviously.
Well, look, they're for what she is. She's a national hunt bred filly that was ready to go early. She was bought as a 2-year-old. She was broken at 2 and got ready early. So she is what they were brought in for. Am I a fan of seeing all these flat horses in them? Probably not, but she's what they were brought in for anyway. This
is local turf for you, one of the big days of the year here at Ferry House. I mean, it's a terrific occasion, sometime for national racing, isn't it?
Oh, it's a great weekend's racing, and the card here today, the crowd here is fantastic. The card today, I mean, Romeo Coolio was very, very impressive, and then to have a horse race like that with Teahupoo and Ballyburn, 2 top-class horses pulling 40 lengths clear of the third, you know, it was proper horse race.
It was brilliant to watch. Robbie, thanks for your time. Well done.
Cheers, thanks Gary.
Jack, just how are you feeling after that buzzing, I'd imagine?
Unbelievable. This day last year, I couldn't even bear to turn on the racing. So
broke your leg on the Saturday, in case anyone's forgotten.
Yeah. So no, to get a day like today is brilliant. They're my first Grade 1 winners since I broke my leg last year. So
I didn't realise that actually.
Yeah. So nice to get them. Yeah.
2 fantastic horses, very contrasting races, weren't they? I mean, Romeo Coolio was just an armchair ride, wasn't it?
Sure, unbelievable. He's an absolute privilege to ride, and same with Teahupoo. Obviously it was a lot closer, but he's been a fantastic horse for my career. He's a legend, so yeah, delighted.
Talk us through the race. Did it go how you thought it might do? Casheldale Lad, I'm sure you knew was going to make the running.
Yeah, he was going to make the running. We went a lovely, nice, even gallop. I had to measure him down to the last, and I could feel something coming outside me, and I got in under the last a bit, and landed at the back of it. I obviously seen it was Paul, but my lad was good and tough from the back of the last of the line. Yeah.
It's the first step on the road, obviously, for both horses this season. Would you relish taking on Ballyburn again further down the line?
You would. Obviously, you'd prefer the ground a bit slower, and obviously an extra half a mile for our lad. I suppose obviously Ballyburn is probably going to go out and trip as well. So yeah, you wouldn't mind taking him on again. Obviously, both horses are going to come forward from today. So. We'll see what happens, yeah.
He's a marvellous horse, isn't he, Teahupoo, and he's established. Romeo Aquilio's his star is still rising. I mean, what could he be? Is he a Gold Cup horse in the making potentially?
I would say he's very versatile trip-wise. He has a high cruising speed. Probably not the fastest horse in the world, but a fence is after making him faster, and he has a high cruising speed, or he could go out and trip either, whatever his a nice one, yeah.
It's been a brilliant day. Finally, before we let you go, Bowen's on fire, just to put the icing on the cake.
Yeah, I would say now the ground is probably a touch slow for him. He ran a lovely race the last day, but I thought the ground got the better of him that day, and it's a bit slower today, so we'll see how we get on.
Don't be too greedy, I guess, Jack.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, thanks.
My word, we have had some finishes here today at Fairyhouse, and as they hit the line here, Teahupoo and Ballyburn, it's impossible to call. Ballyburn was devouring the ground up the run in. Teahupoo, who'd been sent on, going to the last by Jack Kennedy, eventually he was able to overhaul Casheldale Lad, who's run a blinder from the front. And there's two of the jockeys who came down, Brian Hayes and Mark Walsh. I don't know what happened to Glenn Kiln, we didn't see that, but Casheldale Lad about to tip up at the last on. Teahupoo had taken his measure at the time, but he ran some race. I think he had taken his measure anyway, and Mystical Power had nowhere to go. But here's the moment where Ballyburn really starts to kick in the turbo.
The sixth race.
Here it comes.
First number 6.
Teahupoo has won his third Hatton's Grace Hurdle by the width of a coat of paint, it must have been. Ballyburn was up in another, not even another stride on, and he just failed to peg him back.
What a race.
Brilliant stuff again,
what
wasn't
a race. Brilliant. And Casheldale Lad, he ran some race. He was still there. You're thinking Teahupoo was going to take his measure early in the home straight, but not a bit of it. He stuck to his guns well, and Teahupoo just probably moved a bit of neck in front by the time they got to the last. He didn't deserve that, but Teahupoo to come on here and win another Hatton's Grace Hurdle, having won 2, then got beaten by Lossiemouth last year. He's always travelled well for Jack Kennedy, just up on the outside of his stable companion Casheldale Lad. But Ballyburn, he's come from some way back on the run to the final flight and stayed on with gusto on the near side. Just felt like literally another pixel, and he was up. He's unlucky, but you have to hand it to Teahupoo. Great day for Gordon Elliott and Jack Kennedy, and Teahupoo now a 3-time Hatton's Grace Hurdle winner, joins an elite group of horses who've done that.
Very much so. Limestone Lad, Solerina, Apples, Jades, also of course trained by Gordon Elliott and Honeysuckle, the previous triple winners of this race. And Teahupoo about to make his move here. Took him a long time to master Casheldale Lad, who was nibbled at in the market beforehand and has run a screamer. Mystical Power, who eventually departs at the last in that incident, has at least banished the memory of that disappointing run in the Stayers Hurdle when we saw him last. For All This Goes Down as an incompletion. But let's just keep an eye on Ballyburn now. He has to be manoeuvred into the clear here by Paul Townend. Probably still has 3 to 4 lengths to find going to the last.
Yeah, he does. They kind of got away from him when they quickened on the front end. It looked like it was going to be between the 2 Gordon Elliott horses on the run to the last with Ballyburn. He's only about a length down, maybe a length and a half down, jumping the last. Mystical Power, I'm sure Connections will be very happy with that return to form by him. But Ballyburn just galvanised on the near side by Paul Townend. Stride, just misses.
What a finish it was. Here we are again, down to the second last. We want to see what happens to Glenn Kiln this time around at that final flight. He ultimately backed out of it. Maxim was never able to get competitive. Ballyburn, I mean, we were looking at his head carriage through the race, Don. It's always been exaggerated, but it almost, if anything, it looked even worse. He was almost nibbling the grass in the early part of the race.
It was very low. Like, we know that about him over fences and over hurdles, but yeah, today it seemed to be very pronounced. All right, Casheldale Lad, you have to feel for him. Mystical Power had nowhere to go. Glenn Kiln maybe was just kind of spooked, was he, by the fall of Mystical Power in front of him?
Just seemed to lurch out to his left, didn't he? And then the 2 horses stretching for the line, and it came just in the nick of time for Teahupoo. Here we are again from the tracker cam on the inside. Casheldale Lad departs. Hopefully Jordan Gainford is okay. We didn't see him up. And then these two fantastic horses giving the cred here at Fairyhouse today, and what a big cred it is. Something a little bit special. And it's just been Gordon Elliott stayed on, isn't it? You were expecting almost Teahupoo's number to be called the day he's had.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like per Casheldale Lad, hopefully he's okay, and hopefully Jordan Gainford's okay as well, as you say, Gary. But he didn't deserve that. He deserved to finish off his race. He'd run such a good race, and he came into the race in good form as well. He kept on going even when his stable companion came up on his outside. Then Ballyburn down the outside. It's a return from Ballyburn, isn't it? After a chasing.
How do you see the two horses' prospects going forward?
Well, look, it's fascinating, isn't it? Like, this is a Grade 1 race, and Teahupoo's a triple Hatton's Grace Hurdle winner. And then you look further ahead, they'll both step up and trip. Probably Teahupoo, we know that he gets 3 miles really well. Ballyburn, it's kind of inconclusive whether or not he gets 3 miles. There's a chance that this is his optimum trip.
Two champion jockeys, two top-class horses stretching for the line. And it was just by a nose Teahupoo who got the verdict. Jordan Gainford, I can tell you, is okay. Just seen him walking in past us here. Fantastic stuff. And it is that man again, Jack Kennedy, having an incredible day here at Fairyhouse. He and Gordon Elliott sweeping the board in these graded races.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.